Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Venerable Sangha and Shalis and Lady. So we'll continue with where we stopped. Yesterday. So we were discussing the method number 4, and in the method number 4 we said there are 5 groups, and out of that which we discussed the first group number 1. So we have to start the group number 2, right? So in group number 2, the state of enquiry is Magga Sacchena. So what do we mean as Magga Sacchena? What do we mean as the Magga Sacchena? It's the path leading to the cessation of suffering, right? So that's the path leading to the cessation of suffering, and for that the Paramata Dhammas are the 8 Cetasika, 8 mental factors, which are 8 mental factors which are assigned to the Magga, right? To the path, right? So those are the states of enquiries. Yes.
好，我们今天继续往下看下一段的内容，是有关于探讨道谛的情形。当探讨的法是道谛的时候，我们首先应当确定这里的玛嘎萨扎道谛的内容是什么呢？在这里的道谛呢，它即指代作为8种的道支。那这8种的道支在究竟法的层面上，则是8种类型的心所。
Yes. So then we have to work on the other phrases here. The first part is Khanda Sanghayana Sanghita, Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghita, and Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghita. So we know the 8 mental factors which are associated with the Magga Sacca. They are classified in the mental formations aggregate, right? So they are classified in the mental formation aggregate. So Khanda Sanghayana Sanghita, so it should be in the mental formations aggregate. But now in the Maggas, when you say the state of enquiry, which is the Magga Sacca, so for Magga Sacca it's applicable only in the 4 path consciousness, right? It's only applicable in 4 path consciousness, but the 8 mental factors which are associated with this with the Magga Sacca, they arise in the consciousness which are not applicable for the 4 path consciousness, right? So some of the mental factors, they arise in the other kusala chittas. Some of the mental factors, they arise in some other kriya chitta. Some of the mental factors, they arise in the vipaka chitta, and some of them, they arise in akusala chitta. So instead of deducting, so we know in mental formations, aggregate, there are 50 mental factors. So ideally I mean, if we have to deduct 50 from 8 Chaitasika from 50 and derive 42. But in this case, because of the mental factors which are associated with the path arise in the consciousness which are not associated for the path, which means in the other kusala chittas, other kriya chitta and other vipaka chitta, and also the in some of the akusala chitta, we don't deduct this in this way. So instead of deducting that, we take the 50 consciousness, 50, I'm sorry, the 50 mental factors straight away without deducting it. So when we write down when we get the Sarupata for Kanda Sangha and Sanghahita, we have to get it as 50, right? So 50 mental factors excluding 8 Chetasika, right? It should be 8 Chetasika or the 8 mental factors, right? So either way it's fine. 8 Chetasika of path, right? So even though it's like, you can say it's 50 minus 8 is 42, but you don't derive it in this way. So you have to get it, you have to state it like this way: 50 mental factors excluding the 8 Chetasika of the path, or we can say excluding the 8 mental factors of the path. So like that, we have to get the Sarupata for the Kanda Sangha and Sanghahita. Yes.
好，那么首先，在我们确定 Magasaja 它的内容是8种的心所之后，这里不免我们会产生一个问题，就是那在之前我们提及道地的时候呢，那么这种的道地，比如在法纪论之中，它只是特指的存在于4种道心之中的圣道心所。那么然而在这里的道支呢，在阿毗达摩的范围之内，它是泛指广义的道支。那它不仅呢，是在道心之中的这8种类型的心所，那它也可能是出现在善心、唯作心和果报心之中的这8个道支。那这8个道支呢，以及是正见所对应的慧，正思维所对应的寻，然后正语、正业、正命，念心所、精进心所和一尽性心所。那这8个心所呢，它们是在这里呢是指代的，可以出现在所有的心所之中。好，那么因此呢，当我们以运摄而摄这样的方式去判断彼等诸法的胜于诸法的时候呢，好，那么首先这8种的心所，它们属于哪一种的运呢？它们属于行运。那么在行运之中，除了这8个心所之外，还剩下多少的？还剩下哪些的法呢？最终我们得到的答案呢是行运的50种心所，扣除这8个心所，剩下的是42个心所。Sorry, Bande. So here, Magga Saja means the 8 types of Jidasika, not only in the Magga Jida, also can be in the other types of Jida, right?
No, also. So it belongs, I mean, only the 8 mental factors which arise in Magga Chitta.
Only in Magga Jida.
Yes, so that's why we don't deduct the 8 mental 8 Chetasikas and straight it as 42.
OK, Bande. 好，那这里更正一下刚刚所说的，这里的道地呢，它只是特指在4种道心之中的圣道心所。那 这四种道心之中的善道心所呢，也就对应着8种类型的心所法。那接下来呢，则是以他们究竟法的内容呢去进行判断。那所以呢，则是有属于行运当中的所有的心所法，扣除这8个心所法。OK， Pandit.
Yes. And next one is Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghahita. So the 8 mental factors, which is in the Magga Satcha. So all of them are in the ideation base, right? So ideation base, and again it's the same way, same method we have to consider, right? So the 50 now in the ideation base, actually there are 52 mental factors, but for Kanda Sanghayana Sanghahita we selected only this 50, right? So when we move to the ideation base we have to consider only this part, right? 50 mental factors, excluding the 8 chetasikas, and then so we have to look at the state of inquiry, which is the 8 mental factors. So the dhammas which comes for this one is the 50 mental factors excluding 8, then we'll write mental factors, right? Factors in factors of path, right? Yes.
Okay, so Pandit, here, what we get here is actually 50 types of Cetasika, but
Yes.
just not including the 8 existing in the Magga Citta.
Yes.
Okay, understand.
Yeah. So I mean,
okay.
whatever it is implied is now there are 52 in ideation base, totally 52 mental factors, because we only picked this part from Kanda Sanghayana Sanghahita. We don't take it to the Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghahita.
OK， Pandit。
Yes, sir.
好，那刚刚也纠正一下，那在这里我们刚刚提到的这个坎达三嘎黑那三嘎黑达以运摄相摄的内容呢，那因为之前的马嘎萨扎它只是提及在道心之中的这8个道之8种心所，所以在以运摄相摄的时候呢，它的内容呢则是我们得到的是50种的心所。只是除了存在于道心之中的8种心所，那这是行运得到的答案。那接下来以触摄相摄的时候呢，这些的心所法呢，也即是刚刚得到的50种心所，除了道心之中的8个心所，这些心所它们是属于法处。对不起，那就是马嘎萨扎，也就是道地呢。那它所对应的8种心所呢，它也是属于法处之中。那上述的这些的心所法呢，它也可以被归纳在法处之中，所以直接的可以得到答案是跟前面一致的。But now I have a question here.
Yes, sir.
So why we don't say the answer is just like 42 42 types of Jidasika?
42, right?
42.
Okay. The reason is now
if we're just talking about Kanda or Ayadana, actually it's just based on Kanda or Ayadana.
no,
Can we directly say it is just 42?
we cannot say also. I mean, I will break down these 8 mental factors, right? So first one is samadhi.
So Viriya Bande.
Sorry?
Viriya.
Oh, yes, I forgot it. See, now. Yeah, it's Virya, of course. Okay, this is Virya, right? So these are the 8 Chetasikas which form, right? So these 8 Chetasika, they arise in Magga Chitta, right? Also, they arise in the other Kusala Chittas, right?
Yes.
Other Kusala Chittas. And then in some of the Kriya Chitta also it arises. They arise, right? And then they arise in some of the Vipaka Chitta as well. Also, right, the like Ekagrata and Vitakka and Virya, so they arise in some of the Akusala as well. Not some, most of the Akusala. All of the Akusala. Right? So because of this, so if you say like now the Magga Satcha, it's applicable for only for the 4-path consciousness, only this part. Right? So if you say like if you deduct like from 50, if we deduct this 8 and derive the 42, this part will be omitted, right? But in this, it is not Magga Satcha. So to prevent that, we take only we don't get the answer in this way. We don't take it as 42. So we say just 8. We say it's like 50 mental factors, excluding the 8 chetas, 8 mental factors of the path, like that.
OK Bande。我刚刚有问Bande这样的问题，就是为什么在这里不得到直接的答案是42种心所法呢？那这里呢就是根据Bande所画的这个所写的这个内容呢，我们看到8种的心所，它们可以存在这些的心之中。那么它们呢，以究竟法的层面上，我们来去看待，它们可以存在于道心、善心、唯堕心、果报心甚至有些时候会存在不善心之中。然而在这里所提及的法只是道谛，那所以我们在探讨耶达玛的时候呢，也只是以存在道心之中的这8种心所来去探究。那彼等诸法也只是去除了这8种存在于道心之中的情况而去进行分析。所以我们在以运摄相摄、触摄相摄的时候得到的答案不是42个心所，而是50个心所，去除道心之中的8个心所。OK, Bande.
Okay, so next one is Dhatu Sangahena Sanghita. So the method, it's the same with this one, right? Because it's in the ideation base. And so it is the 50 mental factors excluding the 8 mental factors of path. So that is the Dhatu Sangahena Sanghita. And so that is the answer for the first Chedamma, right? So this is the first Chedamma. So then we have to get the, after that, we have to get the Tehi Dhamme Yedamma. So Tehi Dhamme means from that, from those, by those aggregates. I'm sorry, by those Dhammas, right? So this is also the 50 mental factors, excluding the 8 mental factors of the path. And that we have to take for Khanda Sangahena Sanghita, which means now if you take the 50 mental factors excluding the 8 mental factors of the path, so this to this side it comes for Khanda Sangahena Sanghita 8 mental factors of path, right? Then we move to the Ayatana Sangahena Sanghita. So these dhammas, they are included in the ideation base. So we have to get the same answer here, right? Because it's in the ideation base, right? Eight mental factors of path, right? Path excluding, the same. I'm sorry, not excluding. 8 mental factors. I'll write it again, right? Nobody can understand it. Of path, right? So then we move to the Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghahita. It's again the 8 mental factors of path, right? And the Yedamma, it's the second Yedamma. So second Yedamma is 8 mental factors of the path. Yes, sir.
好，我们看一下，那这样的话，我们得到第一个耶达玛的内容呢，就是50种的心所去除道心之中的8种道支。那这得到的第一个耶达玛将会被用作下一个问题、第二个问题的主语，就是探讨的法。那它是第一达米希的内容呢，就是这些内容。那接下来对于这些法，去探讨除了它以外的。法的时候呢，那进一步的以运摄相摄去判断。那么上述的这些法呢，它属于行运。那除了它以外，在行运之中，剩下的呢就是回归到这一段的最初的这一个问题的法，也就是8种在道心之中的道支8种的心所。那这些的法呢，接下来再以处摄相摄。那首先50种的心所，除了8种在道心之中的道支之外呢，它们都属于法处那而上述的这个8种在道心之中的心所呢，它们也属于法处。所以呢，在以处摄相摄的判断之后呢，我们得出的答案依然是在道心之中的8个心所那接下来以戒摄相摄仍然是这8个在道心之中的心所。由此我们得出第二个耶达玛的内容呢，就是8个在道心之中的道支。OK, Pandey.
Yes. So the next part of the question is straightforward and the answer is also very easy. So Te Dhamma, the next one, Te Dhamma, those states. So we have to take the second Ye Dhamma here. And the task Katihi Kandehi, Katihi Ayatanehi, Katihi Dhatuhi Sanghita. So under how many aggregates, under how many bases, and under how many elements are those states classified, right? So Te Dhamma, so those states are classified under one aggregate, right? So 8 mental factors of the path. So they are classified in mental formations, right? Ekena Khandena. Ekena Ayatanena, it's again, the answer is straight. It's the ideation base. And Ekaya Dhatuya, which is the ideation element, right? So there is the one element which these mental factors are classified into.
那第三个问题，所得到的彼等诸法，也就是第二个耶达玛的内容8个在道心之中的心所，它们是属于几种的运、几种的处、几种的戒呢？那这些法呢，它们属于一种运、行运，属于一种处、法处、一种戒、法戒。
Right. So if you have any questions that y'all can ask me.
请问大家有任何问题吗？
请问可以听见吗？这里它为什么有3个问题呀？
我们在上一节课已经讲过了，你可以去复习一下。
哦，好的，谢谢班长。
Bande, we can continue, no problem.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we'll move to the next one, next state of inquiry. So it is the Itindriyana. Itindriyana yedhamma khandha sanghayana sanghita ayatana sanghayana sanghita. Question goes like that. So Itindriyana, Itindriya means the female faculty. Right? So you have to get the khandha sanghayana sanghita, ayatana sanghayana sanghita, and dhatu sanghayana sanghita. For khandha sanghayana sanghita, which means the states classified using the aggregates. So Itindriya, we know the female faculty, it belongs to the matter aggregate, right? Matter aggregate. So in the matter aggregate, by the Itindriya, right, by the female faculty, the other 27 rupas, excluding the Itindriya, female faculty, are classified, right? So that is the 27 matter excluding the female faculty, right? So it's very straightforward. From the Khandha Sanghayana Sanghita, we have to consider the female faculty, 27 matter excluding the female faculty. Yes, sir.
好，那么接下来的这一段呢，是探讨有关于女性根色作为被探讨的法。那么女性根色它的究竟法的内容呢，是一种的色法，就是这个性根色。那接下来如果以运色相摄我们得到的彼等诸法的内容是什么呢？好，首先女性根色，它以运色属于色运。那么在色运之中除了女性根色之外，还剩下多少的色法呢？那我们得到的答案呢是除了女性根色之外的28种色法，27种色法。那这里呢，我们得到的答案是这样。So Bande, I have a question here.
Yes.
So we don't need to consider the male Indriya Rupa.
To deduct it, right? So you're asking that you have to consider 26, is it?
Like Indriya actually have two types.
No, also.
So
it's
here
like,
we only.
Yeah, because the state of inquiry for the Itindriya, it's only the female faculty. For Purisindriya, there's a different state of inquiry. We have another one, a separate one.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so, may I continue also?
Yes, Bande.
Okay, so the next one is Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghita, which means classified using the basis. So we have to consider the female faculty as a state of inquiry, and then we have to consider this set of dhammas as well, right? So we know female faculty, it is classified in the ideation base. It's classified in the ideation base, right? And so in ideation base, how many rupa are there in total? It consists of subtle matter, right? Consists of subtle matter, and there are 16 of them, right? So out of the 16, the female faculty, right? So this 16 is included here in this set of dhammas, right? Or in Khandha Sanghayana Sanghita. So from this 27, from the female faculty, the 15 subtle matter, excluding the female faculty, are classified, right? So from this 27, we only get 15, because with the female faculty, together with the female faculty, only 15 subtle matter are there in the ideation base. Yes.
好，那么接下来呢，以触舍相舍，我们该得出什么样的答案呢？那首先，女性根色以触舍来去归纳呢，它被归纳在法处之中，而上述我们所得到的27种的耶达玛的内容，又有哪些可以同样的被归纳在法处之中呢？那27种的色法之中，我们要去除10种的粗色，也就是12种的究竟色法，叫粗的究竟色法。那所以我们得到的答案呢，就是27种的色法之中的去除了12种粗色以外的剩下的15种的微细色法。那这是以触舍相摄我们得到的答案。
So regarding the Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghita, which means the classified using the elements, it is the same theory, right? Because it's again the female faculty, it's in the ideation base, ideation element. So we get the 15 right, 15 subtle matter excluding the female faculty. And so next one is, so that becomes the first Dhamma, right? First Dhamma here. First Dhamma, 15 matter excluding the 15 subtle matter excluding the female faculty. Right, so then we have the Tehi Dhammehi Ye Dhamma, Tehi Dhamme from those states, right? So we get the first Ye Dhamma here, Tehi Dhammehi Ye Dhamma, Khandha Sanghayana Sanghita. So Khandha Sanghayana Sanghita means it's again the again the we have the first I think I have made an error in the document which I prepared, right? So now I'm teaching the right way, right? Tehi Dhammehi. So Khandha Sanghayana Sanghita means So for this side, we get the 12 gross matter, and the
But then no problem, it will come back again.
sorry.
It will come back again. So it's the same.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
like
yeah. 12 gross matter plus the female faculty. And so that becomes the Khanda Sanghayana Sanghita, the Dhammas the classified using the aggregates. Yes.
好，那接下来呢，我们来看第二个问题。那首先呢，这里的 Dehita Mehe 的内容呢，其实我们刚刚所得到的第一个耶达玛的内容，其实除了女性根色之外，剩下的15种的细色。好，那对这15种的细色，我们去进行归纳。那由此而得到的别等诸法该怎么样子去归纳呢？首先以韵色相摄。那我们首先来看一下这15种的细色，它属于哪一种韵呢？它属于色韵。在这15种的色韵之外，那15种的细色之外，那也就是除了它之外的别等诸法还有哪些呢？也就是28种色法去除这15种的细色。那我们得到的答案呢，就是12种的粗色，还有女性根色。
Right. Then we move to the Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghita, which is classified using the elements. So we have the 15 subtle matter excluding the female faculty as the classifier, and then we have to consider this set of dhammas as well, the 12 gross matter plus the female faculty. So we know the female faculty, the 15 subtle matter excluding the female faculty, they are classified in the ideation element. So the female faculty, right? So out of these two sets of dhammas, gross matter, they belong to the gross basis, but the female faculty, it's the only thing which is classified using the 15 subtle matter, excluding the female faculty, right? So we get the female faculty here for Khanda Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghita, right? So same with the Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghita. Again, it's in the ideation base. You get the female faculty for this one as well. Yes, please translate it.
好，那接下来，当我们看以触色相摄的时候呢，首先15种的细色，它们属于哪一种触呢？它们属于法触。那我们刚刚所得到的13种的色法，也就是12种的细色和女性根色，最终哪些属于法触呢？只有女性根色属于法触，所以皆由以触色相摄，我们得到的答案是女性根色。那再接下来以戒色相摄，那15种的细色呢，就是 Dehita Mehe 呢，它也是属于法界之中。那么上述我们得到的女性根色呢，它也属于法界之中，所以最终我们得到的耶达玛的内容呢，即是女性根色。
Okay, so this female faculty becomes the second Dhamma, right? This female faculty. So then we have to straightforward, right? So that becomes the Te Dhamma. Those states Katihi Kandehi, Katihi Ayatanehi, Katihi Ayatanehi, Katihi Dhatuhi Sanghita. So under how many aggregates, under how many bases, and under how many elements are those dhammas classified, right? So it's straightforward. So Katihi Kandehi, the answer is given as Te Dhamma, this female faculty, Ekena Kande, which is in the matter aggregate, right? Ekena Ayatanena, it's in the ideation element, ekaya dhatuya, it is in the ideation base. Right? Ekena khandena, ekena ayatana, ekaya dhatuya. So that's how we derive the answer for this one.
我们得到的第二个耶达玛的内容呢，就是女性根色。那接下来dei dhamma gadehi kandehi。那这里呢，在第三个问题之中呢，我们刚刚所得到的第二个耶达玛就会被用作主语，后对它发问。那这里的彼等诸法，也就是女性根色，它被归纳于几种的运处界呢？答案是它被归纳于一种的运、一种的处、一种的界。一种的运呢，即是色运；一种的处呢是法处；一种的界呢是法界。
If you have any questions, you can ask me.
好，那大家在这里有任何的问题吗？
Fine. No questions, right? Okay, so we'll move to the next group, which is Sukhindriyena. Sukhindriyena yedhamma kanda sanghayana sanghita, ayatana sanghayana sanghita. So Sukhindriya, it's a part of Vedana, right? Or the feeling aggregate. So Sukhindriya is the, okay, excuse me. Okay, so Sukhindriya is the bodily pleasure faculty, right? So yedhamma kanda sanghayana sanghita, ayatana sanghayana sanghita. So kanda sanghayana sanghita means classified using the aggregates. So we know bodily pleasure faculty, it's part of the feeling aggregate, right? Feeling aggregate. So khandas, so it's only a part, right? So but there are five types of aggregate which is related to the feeling aggregates. So the other four types of feeling faculties, right? Four types of feeling faculties. Four types of feeling faculties, they become Khanda Sanghayana Sanghita, classified using the bodily pleasure faculty, right? So what are those four types, right? What are those four types, right? So this is Sukha, Sukhindriya. We have Dukhindriya. Then we have the Upekhindriya. Then we have the Somanasindriya. And we have the Domanasindriya. So those are the four types of faculties which are being classified by the bodily pleasure faculty.
好，接下来我们看一下下一段的内容。首先，这里被探讨的法呢是 Sukhindriya，就是乐根。那乐根所指代的究竟法呢，是生识当中的乐受。那因此，在以运的方式来去归纳生识的乐受呢，它被包含在受运里面。那受运除了生识的乐受之外，还剩下哪些的类型的受呢？那我们知道一共有5种的受，去除了生识的乐受之外，它还有生识的苦受，那以及这个新的乐受、忧受和舍受。
So next one is the Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghita. So Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghita, again it's included in the ideation element. So in the ideation element, the same four types of feeling faculties, they become the dhammas which are classified using the classification of element, right? And then we move to the next one, which is the Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghita. It's the same, right? Same method. It's in the ideation base. So we get the four types of feeling faculties here. Yes.
接下来以触摄相摄。那么对于真实的乐受，就是乐根而言呢，它被归纳于哪一种的处呢？它被归纳在法处之中。好，那上述的我们刚刚得到的四种受，有哪些能够同样的被归纳在法处之中呢？这四种受都可以被归纳在法处。那以戒摄相摄。乐根呢，它属于法界，上述的四种受呢，它也可以被归纳于法界，所以最终我们得到的耶达玛的内容呢是除了生实乐受以外的四种受。对。
So these four types of feeling faculties, they become the Te Dhammi. I'm sorry, it becomes the Ye Dhamma, right? It becomes the Ye Dhamma, the first Te Dhamma, those states of inquiry, and that becomes the Te Dhammihi. So those four types of feeling faculty, Khanda Sanghayana Sanghita, these four types of feeling faculty, they are included in the feeling aggregate, and what is being classified by those four types of feeling faculty is the bodily pleasure faculty, right? It's the bodily pleasure faculty which comes here. So then move to the Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghita. Again, it's the bodily bodily pleasure faculty which is being classified in the ideation base. When you move to the Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghita also, it's the bodily pleasure faculty. So that becomes the second Yedhamma, right? The second Yedhamma. Yes.
好，那么我们刚刚得到的这四种受呢，就是第一个耶达玛的内容。那它将被用在第二个问题之中作为主语。好，那依于这四种的受如果是以运摄相摄，那四种的受呢，它归纳于受运除了这四种受之中，在受运里面还剩下哪种受呢？还剩下即是生实的乐受。那再接下来以触摄相摄，四种受它归纳在法处之中，而我们刚刚得到的生实的乐受也可以被归纳在法处之中。那以戒摄相摄，四种的受归纳于法界，乐受呢也可以被归纳在法界，所以最终我们得到的第二个耶达玛的内容呢，就是生实的乐受。
Okay, then we come to the question, the third part of the question. Te Dhamma Katehi Kandehi Katehi Hayatanehi Katehi Dhatuhi Sanghita. So it means Te Dhamma, those states, Katehi Kandehi. Under how many aggregates? And Katehi Hayatanehi, under how many elements? Katehi Dhatuhi, and how many I'm sorry, Katihi Ayatani, under how many bases, Katihi Dhatuhi, under how many elements are those states are classified, right? So the answer is very straightforward. Te Dhamma, right? Those bodily pleasure faculty, Ekena Kandena, Ekena Ayatanena, Ekaya Dhatuya Sanghita. So it's classified under one aggregate, under one base, and under one element. So it is the feeling aggregate, right? It's the feeling aggregate, Ekena Ayatanena, under one base is the ideation. Ekaya Dhatuya, again it's the ideation base. So that's how we get the answer for number 4. Yes.
好，那最后的问题呢？那我们刚刚得到的第二个叶达嘛，也就是乐受，它可以被归纳在几种的运处界呢？那答案是，这些法呢，它可以被归纳为一种的运、一种的处、一种的界，即是一种的受运、一种的法处和一种的法界。
So if you have any questions, you can ask me.
大家还有其他的问题吗？
No questions, right? So we move to the next one. Right. Next one is the state of inquiry. It's the parideva, right? So what do we mean as parideva? So I prepared this small thing just before the class to explain it easily. So parideva, it's the sound, right? It's a sound of passionate grief due to wailing, right? So when people come across difficulties in life because of the loss of their belongings, loss of their loved ones, and or any other unfavorable reason, they cry, right? Not they, it's we who are crying, right? So the parideva is the audible object of passionate grief due to wailing. So this is one part of the audible object, right? So the Saddha-rūpa, which is the audible object, it is two-folded, right? One is the Uttuja Saddha-rūpa, the other is the Chittaja Saddha-rūpa. So Uttuja Saddha-rūpa means the temperature-born audible object, right? We know it like any sound which comes from the environment, right? Not from which is developed by the mind, right? So for example, now you heard the wooden gong, right? That's the Uttuja Saddha. It's a temperature-born audible object. And then we have the mind-born audible object, which is we call in Pali the Chittaja Saddha-rūpa. So Chittaja Saddha-rūpa, it's two-folded. One is the audible object of passionate grief due to wailing, right? Which is the state of inquiry which are talking. And then the next one is the audible object of should be removed, right? Audible object excluding passionate grief due to wailing, right? So we would say, like in Pali, it's very easy to say. The Pali is also wrong here, right? It should be aparideva, right? So here we call it parideva saddha-rūpa, and here we call it aparideva saddha-rūpa. Then the audible object, which are mind-born, which is not the parideva, right? Now I'm talking. This is a mind-born audible object. The sound which you are hearing, I'm not sure. I think it's what you hear is Uttuja, because you hear from the computer, right? Whatever the computer, whatever the device that you are using. So it's a Utuja Rupa. Whatever the sound which are producing here right now to the microphone, it's the mind-born audible object, right? Which is Aparideva. So for this, you come for the Parideva Sadharupa, you already know it's the crying and all the other things, right? So yes.
好，那么在接下来的第192段的经文呢，首先在这段经文之中所探讨的法呢是Parideva 的行业是什么呢？它就是我们通常所理解的悲泣或者是悲叹，其实有形因为悲惨的际遇所悲泣所嚎哭。那如何去理解Parideva它对应的究竟法的内容呢？那么在这里面呢，这个首先为大家解释了什么是声色，是声相关的色法。那它主要有2种的类型，第一种呢是Jidāja Sada Rupa，就是新生的声色；第二种呢是Uddhāja Sada Rupa，时节生的声色。那和我们在这里所探讨的Parideva悲叹相关联的呢，那它只是被包含在新生声色的内容之中，主要是可以被分为这样的2种类型。第一种呢是Parideva Sada Rupa，那即是新生的这个新生的悲的声色。那还有一种呢是新生的悲叹的声色。
Right. Okay. So we move to this one, to the question which comes in the Dhatukatha. So Paridevena ye dhamma khanda sanghahena sanghahita, ayatana sanghahena sanghahita, dhatu sanghahena sanghahita. So Parideva, you know, it's the audible object, to hearing. So Parideva. So Yedamma Khanda Sanghahena Sanghahita, when you say it like this, so Khanda Sanghahena Sanghahita, we have to say it like, now this is the 27 okay. I think it's not clear, right? If I write it in very small letters, I mean, when it's minimized, it's not good. Okay, so Khanda Sanghahena Sanghahita, which means that this is one part, right? It's one portion of the Saddha Rupa. It's audible, or the one portion of the audible object. So the Dhammas which are classified in the classification of aggregates by this part from the Parideva, one is the mind-born audible object, right? So that is the first part, mind-born audible object, right? Which is this part. I'm sorry, mind-born audible object excluding Parideva, right? Excluding Parideva. Excluding Parideva, right? And also the other part of the other part is the temperature-born audible object, which is the Uttara Saddha Rupa. Temperature-born audible object. And now these two belong to the audible object, right? So these two belong to the audible object. And apart from this audible object, there are other 27 types of matter, right? So the other 27 matter is also considered, right? 27 matter excluding the audible object, right? So you have to consider it in this way, right? So those are the dhammas which are classified by Parideva in the classification of aggregates. Yes, sir.
So here, when we're talking about the Parideva, we're only talking one type of Paradhamma,
Yes.
the Rupa. It's not, we do not analyze in the way of Kalapa.
We don't analyze in the way of Kalapa, right?
Kalapa, yeah.
Actually, this Parideva it's one type of Kalapa, one type of mind-born audible Kalapa.
Yes, that's why I'm asking this question. So, because here we don't consider the Kalapa, we just consider one type of Rupa.
Yes, exactly. We consider only one type.
So, but do you know the reason why? So here we don't need to consider the Kalapa, right?
No, we don't need actually. We don't need to do it. Like when you say Saddharupa, I mean, you know, when it's a Saddharupa, it's you you have it comes in a Kalapa, right? But what you hear, it's the audible object, right? So that's why we only take the the audible object, right? Audible object,
So
only the Saddharupa.
Only take Saddharupa. Okay.
Yeah. It's the same theory which we already did. Like I mean, like we did. It's the same application. Like say for example, now for the Itindriya also, we only consider the female faculty, only that Rupa. We did not consider the whole thing. We did not consider the Kalapa like that.
OK 的。好，我们看一下这里的分析的方式。那我们确定了 Parideva 它的内容呢，就是一种的色法，那以及是它是声色，并且呢这种声色呢，它是由于新生的色句里面，它是以悲这样的方式而产生的新生色句里面的这个声音。那我们将它称之为Parideva Saddharupa，它的究竟含义呢，就是声音的色法，并且呢是特指的存在于新生这个色句里面的悲的色法。好，那如果以韵色相摄，我们来看一下声音呢，它属于色韵，在色韵里面除去了这一种色法之外，那剩下的呢就是27种的色法。27种的色法该如何理解呢？它其包含有刚刚我们在图表上看到的，除了新生声里面的这个悲的声之外呢，以及是它还可以有其他的类型的所有的色法。
Okay, so next we move to the Ayatana Sangahena Sangahita. So for the Ayatana Sangahena Sangahita, we have to consider the state of enquiry, which is the Parideva, and also we have to consider the set of Rupa, right? So we know the Parideva, which is a portion of the of this sound of the audible object. So it belongs to the sound base, right? Sound base. So in the sound base, in the classification of bases, only the sound is included there, right? Only the sound is included there, and because of that, only the mind-born audible object, excluding the Parideva, and also the temperature-borne audible object are classified, right? This one, the 27 object, 27 matter excluding audible object, they belong to different bases. So we only consider for Ayatana Sanghayana Sanghahita only the mind-borne audible object excluding Parideva and temperature-borne audible object, right? So we get the answer as mind-borne audible object excluding Parideva and temperature-borne audible object, right? So the same set of dhammas, they belong to the sound element, right? You get the mind-borne, it's very long, so it's difficult to write, right? So I put number 1 here, right? So you have to cross-refer it here. Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghahita, right? For the classified using the basis, you have to take this part, right? Dhatu Sanghayana Sanghahita. Mind-borne audible object excluding Parideva plus the temperature-borne audible object. Yes. Okay. Oh, so that becomes the Ye Dhamma, right? That becomes the first Ye Dhamma. First Ye Dhamma. Yes.
So here we get the Yedama as Aparideva Sadarupa, right?
Yes. Aparideva Sadarupa plus the Utuja Rupa.
So I'm a little bit confused on the why Parideva can be Utuja Sadarupa. Because usually because of like people cry and then have the Parideva.
Yes.
If it is not coming from people, how we can say it can be Parideva?
Can you repeat the question, please? I did not understand it properly.
Because here, no problem, Brendan. I understand now.
Okay.
So another question is, so when we're doing the Chanda Sanghahita, so here, should we say 28 types of rupa, excluding the Parideva Sadarupa?
Yeah, it's also correct. Yes, it's correct.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason for I think it's correct. It's accurate. It's better to have the breakdown for the next, so that the next step will be easy. We can say 28 matter excluding the Parideva Sadharupa. It's correct.
Yeah. Because like before, we are doing the same way. So I mean, maybe here we should do 28.
Or for the Magasacha, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's correct. But I think it would be much better. It would be much easy when we have this breakdown, right? So this breakdown is presented in this part. So it will be easy when we move to the next step. Next step means when you move to the bases, it would be much easier. That's why.
OK， 好的，那么好，我们在这里看到那以运摄相摄的内容之中，如果我们去除了属于声色里面的新生的悲的声色这一种色法之外呢，那么它剩下的色蕴的内容呢，其实除了声色以外的27种色法，再加上时节生的声色，以及呢新生的非悲的声色。好，那换言之呢，也可以说是28种的色法里面去除了新生的悲的声色。那接下来以触摄相摄，那首先新生的悲声这样的色法呢，以触而言呢，是包含在声触之中。那刚刚所提到的上述的这 28种色法，除去心生悲生以外的28种色法呢，它们里面有哪些可以包含在生处之中呢？那答案是心生的非悲的声色，以及时节生的声色，这两种色法呢，它们可以这些的色法呢，可以被包含在生处的这个色法里面。所以呢，以触色相摄，我们得到的答案是这两种的类型。那同样的，以戒色相摄，那心生的悲声呢，心生的悲声色呢，以戒而言，它也属于这个声戒里面，而上述的心生非悲声色，还有时节声色，它们也都可以被包含在声戒之中。那最终呢，我们得到的答案是心生非悲声色，还有呢时节声色。And I think maybe here 28 is better.
Yes, yes. Yes. Then we move to the next one. Tehi dhammehi yadhamma. So that becomes those subjects. This becomes the classifier. Yadhamma khanda sanghayena sanghahita, ayatana sanghayena sanghahita, and dhatu sanghayena sanghahita. So tehi dhammehi, it means the mind-born object, excluding parideva, and temperature-born audible object, right? So for khanda sanghayena sanghahita, for here it comes the parideva, right? I'll write it as parideva. I think it'd be easy, right? Because it's very long. Try this thing. Right? So I'll write it here as parideva, and also the other 27 rupa, right? 27 matter. They become khanda sanghayena sanghahita. And then we move to the ayatana sanghayena sanghahita, classified using the elements, the bases. So from parideva and 27 matter. So this by this classifier term, mind-born audible object excluding parideva and temperature-born audible object. So only parideva becomes ayatana sanghayena sanghahita. Because it's the only thing which comes in the sound base. Then for dhatu sanghayena sanghahita also, it's the parideva, right? So that become the parideva becomes the second year dhamma, right? So this becomes the second year dhamma. Yes.
好的，好，我们来到第二个问题。那在这里呢，我们得到的第一个耶达嘛，即是心生的非悲声，还有时节声色的。那这两种的声色，这里会成为第二个问题的主语，即是 dehi dhammehi。那对此呢，我们再去进行归纳。对于它们如果以韵摄相摄，那得到的耶达嘛有哪些呢？好，那上述的这两种声色，它们是属于色韵。在色韵之中，除了它们之外，还剩下的色法呢，即是27种的色法再加上新生的悲声色，也就是 parideva。那再接下来以触色相摄那上述的新生、非悲声和时节声，它们是属于声处。好，那以韵摄相摄，我们得到的27种色法和parideva 新生的悲声呢，在这里面哪些能够同样的相摄与归纳在声处之中呢？我们得到只有 parideva 新生的悲声色属于声处里面。那再接下来以戒摄相摄，同样的，那这里的dehi dhammehi 被归纳在声戒之中，而我们刚刚所得到的parideva 新生的 悲声色也包含在声界之中。最终我们得到的第二个耶达玛的内容呢，就是 Varideva，就是心声的悲的声色。
Right. So the next part is straightforward. Te Dhamma Kati Kandehi, Kati Ayatanehi, Kati Dhatuhi Sanghita, which means under how many aggregates, under how many those states, under how many aggregates, under how many elements, and under how many bases, and under how many elements are those Dhammas classified. Right. The answer it says Te Dhamma Ekena Kandena, Ekena Ayatanena, Ekaya Dhatuya Sanghita, which means they are classified under one aggregate, under one basis, one base, and under one element, right? So Parideva, it's in the matter aggregate, becomes it's in the sound base and sound element. Yes.
好，那么最后的一个问题就是悲塔玛，就是我们刚刚所得到的第二个耶塔玛的内容巴瑞德瓦这样的声色，它可以被归纳在几种的运输界呢？答案是这些法，也就是声色呢，它可以被归纳为一种的韵、一种的处、一种的界即是一种的色韵、一种的声处和一种的声界。
Yes. Okay. So any questions if you have, can ask me.
大家有问题吗？
Okay. No questions. Right. Okay, so I need to explain a couple of things from the commentary. And now the first thing I want to tell, like yesterday there was a question, like the lady who came up with the question. So she asked me that whether this why is the reason, any possible reason, because to get for the second Yedhamma, it's a state of inquiry, the same state of inquiry which comes for the second Yedhamma. So the answer basically, what I explained was, I thought like it's for the meditation, it's for the obvious reason. And the other thing when I was explaining it, I told that that in the commentary there's an alternative method for this to derive the answers. And I told that by going through this alternative method, you'll better understanding it on the application of how to meditate and why this is there. But the answer, that part of the answer, right, the alternative method thing, which was from the commentary, it was wrong because it's in the fifth method, not the fourth method. So I mixed up the method number 4 and method number 5, the alternative method, which is explained in the commentary when I was answering this thing. So for the fourth method, which you are doing currently, learning currently, it's not applicable. The alternative method is not applicable for the method that we are learning right now, right? But that the answer which I gave regarding the meditation, I told it's for meditation and the way to develop the mind. That's true.
尊者补充一下，在上节课呢，清贤有问的问题，为什么在这里，那问题的答案呢，又回归到被问及的这个主语本身，也就是第二个叶达玛呢，它又变为了这个主语。那尊者呢，在上一节课提到，他是为了更好的理解，以及呢，或者呢说是可以作为一种的选择。那实际上这是对于第五种的方法而言的。那上节课说的这样的运用可能会方便我们更好的禅修，以及进入禅修获得更透彻深入的理解。那这个呢是这样的解释呢，是我跟大家分享的。
So now I'll explain a couple of details which is from the commentaries, and which explain why some of those states of enquiries are not applicable and some are applicable. Right, so it says that for khanda, ayatana, and dhatu, so there are states of enquiries which take which takes the full portion, not the full portions, the full khanda, right? Full khanda, ayatana, or dhatu. Now, say for example, if it's the rupa khanda, and for ayatana, say if you say mana ayatana, right? So then we say take the rupa dhatu. So what happen is that if you take any of these things, any of these khanda, ayatana, or dhatu, it takes the full part of the khanda, and there are no dhammas which are classified these by the khanda, right? So it takes, like if you say when you take rupa khanda, it doesn't have any other dhammas except for the rupa khanda, which is classified by this, right? Now if you compare it with say if we take the itindriya, right? If we take the itindriya, there were a set of dhammas which are classified by the itindriya. So like that, so if some state of enquiry takes the full part of either from the aggregates or the bases and or the elements, so those types of states of enquiries are not applicable in this method. Yes.
接下来跟着这个义正呢为大家解释一下。那有些时候这里被探讨的话，他们为什么是不可能的，或者呢，什么情况下才是可能的？举例而言，如果我们拿运、处、界为例来说明呢，那么这里的运、处和界呢，它们不可能是一个被问及的法呢，是它们之间的一个全部的一种的运、一种的处或一种的界。比如说在运里面呢，如果被问及的法是一个是全部的做运，那么很显然，当这样问的时候呢，那越打骂就将没有留白的余地，也就是对于他而言将不存在剩余的法。那回归到我们刚刚所提出的内容，像语性跟色，当问到这一种说法的时候呢，我们就可能进一步的去进行分析。所以对于运处界而言呢，那任何的其中的一种的运、一种的处，这里所提及的色运或者是异处或者是色界这些的情况呢，它是不可能出现的。
Right. So the dhammas which are applicable here are called, like in Pali, I'll write the Pali word, right? Sankhara Ekadesa. Sankhara Ekadesa, which means it's a portion, a part of the sankhara, of the mental formations. So that types of dhammas are applicable in this method, right? So for example, the two examples in the first two groups, we had the Samudaya Satcha and the Magga Satcha, right? Samudaya Satcha and the Magga Satcha. So they are part of the mental formations, right? A portion, not the full. It's a part of the mental formation. So that type of dhammas are included here. So that's the type number one. So the type number two, it says the Sukkuma Rupa. right? Which means the subtle rupa, the subtle matter, right? Like the Itindriya, the Purisindriya, like the female faculty, male faculty, like that. So those types of states of enquiries, they're included here. And the third type, it's called the Vedana Ekadesa. Vedana Ekadesa means like I'll write it, Pali word, Vedana Ekadesa. A part of the feeling faculty, right? A part of the feeling aggregate, right? Which we encountered here, right? The fourth one, Sukhindriyana. So it is a part of the feeling faculty. And the other one is called Saddha Ekadesa. Saddha Ekadesa. So Saddha Ekadesa means a part of the audible object. Right? The example was the Parideva, which we discussed here at number 5. Right? So those four types, we find these four types of states of inquiry we find in this fourth method. Yes.
那在第四法当中有哪些的这个主语是可以被探讨的呢？在印度最终提到了4种类型的主语是可以存在的。第一种是samskara，也叫等法，也是部分的行运。在第四法之中，我们刚刚所分到的5种情形之中，像第一种的极地，第二种的道地，都属于这里的情形。那第二种的就是细色，如果是属于微细色呢，那就是可以的。比如在刚刚我们学习过的内容之中的女性根色，就是属于微细色。那第三个是Abhidhamma Canon，就是部分的受孕，比如刚刚我们所学习的是乐根。第四种呢是Saddha Canon，就是部分的根色声音。那比如说像我们刚刚所学习的Parideva，这4种情况呢，也可以在第四法之中被讨论的。
Right. So any questions you can ask me?
大家还有其他的问题吗？
Yes, Bante. What do you mean with Rupa Dhatu here in this, what you explained just now? What you have written on the whiteboard?
Yes, this one, right?
Rupa Dhatu, what is this?
Oh. It's the visible object. Or did I write it wrong? No, right?
Okay.
It's visible object, right? Yeah.
I think you are correct.
Thank you.
Yes, so Bante, here you just gave us 3 examples: Vibhakanda, non-Aidana, Vibhadadi. So actually, for all the conditions, all the Kanda, all the Aidana, all the Dadi, so or cannot be, or you just this.
Also, can you please repeat the question? It's not clear.
Oh, sorry, here is can you hear me now?
The what? I mean, can you talk a little bit louder?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do, but the It's not clear, very clear. I don't know if from my side the problem is.
Maybe because of the rain.
Oh. Yes.
Hello, hello. You hear me now?
Yes, I do, but still it's not clear.
Okay, no problem. Maybe later next time.
Oh, okay. I can ask later. Yes. Okay, so any other questions? All right, okay. So we'll end the class. And I have included this one in the note which I send you from the Mulapatthana Sayadaw's book. So which states shows the states of enquiries which are applicable for each of these methods. So please go through them and follow up with the exercises. Right, so then you all can be thorough with the study, right? So I mean, this may look easy, right? The answer it look very easy because we know the second year Dhamma, it's the state of inquiry, but to have proper comprehension on the Paramattha Dhammas, it's better to go through it from the beginning and understand it correctly. Yes.
我们这里呢，看到跟着大家展示的有那个谈到更多的历史的有关于第四法之中，有一种情形，在经文之中有出现系列，比如第一种类型呢，以及相类似的是3种，那这些的内容呢，大家可以在这种做练习。
Okay, so finish the class and share the merits, of course. So we'll share the merits which we accumulated during the last 1.5 hours by teaching, learning, reflecting the supreme words of our Lord Buddha. So from this Kusala Kamma, may this Kusala Kamma be a supportive factor for us to attain Nibbana. May this Kusala Kamma be a parami for us to attain Nibbana. May this Kusala Kamma be a supportive factor for our teachers, our other bhikkhus and the other syalis and all the laity to attain Nibbana. So may this Kusala Kamma be a supportive factor for all the worlds in this world and the other worlds to attain Nibbana. So with this wish, we'll recite the final stanzas of the Abhidhamma commentary and share the merits. Yang pattang kusalang tassa anubhavena panino sabbe saddhamma rajassa ñatva dhammang sukhavahang papunantu visuddhaya Sukaya patipattiya asoka manupayasang nibbana sukha muttamang chirang tittatu saddhammo dhamme hontu sagarva sabbepi satta kalena Sammadevo pavassatu yatarakkinsu purana surajano tatevimang Raja rakkatu dhammena attanova pajang pajang Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya dhammang pujemi Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya sanghang pujemi Addhaimaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha parimuccissami Idamme punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu Idamme punyang nibbānassa paccayo hotu Mama punya bhagang sabba sattanang bhajemi Te sabbe me samang punya bhagang labhantu Buddha sasanang cirang tiṭṭhatu Buddha sasanang cirang tiṭṭhatu Buddha sasanang cirang tiṭṭhatu Sadhu sadhu sadhu